So, the second Mario game ever started its life much like Ocarina of Time's very own Master Quest. Not just in the fact that it's basically the same game, aka Super Mario Bros., but harder. No, it started its life much like it too. The main difference is that Lost Levels was released in Japan as a separate game, originally called Super Mario Bros. 2. However, due to the difficulty of the game, it wasn't actually released here in the United States. Remember, this wasn't too long after the video game crash with Atari. One of the leading complaints of Atari was confusing and overly difficult game design. Nintendo didn't want another repeat of those situations. So in the US, we got a very different game. However, that very different game was designed by the other half of the original designers of Super Mario Bros. Yeah, that would be the Majora's Mask of this situation. Weird, I know. Like Master Quest, Lost Levels took a while to come to the States. This would happen with the All-Stars pack, which is what I'll mostly be looking at here. The original wouldn't actually come to the US until the Wii Virtual Console, but it can be played pretty regularly here now. There was also a version, as a hidden bonus in Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, but I don't like the screen crunch in Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, so I didn't touch that version. Hey, they tried to handle the screen crunch as best they could. I still don't care for it though. Overall, the All-Stars version is easily the best version of the game anyway, so I figured I'd probably just end up recording that regardless. But let's get this challenge started. Let's take on the Lost Levels! Well, when talking about the writing, this is going to be really easy. There is literally no new story here. I should probably mention I'm looking at this game as more of an expansion of the original Super Mario Bros. Yeah, I'm kind of treating this like DLC, even though that's not exactly what this is. I'm sure you guys won't mind. Still, not one bit of new story. Guess Bowser is just tired of your shit. Meanwhile, the only new bit of charm is in the original release. Not sure about the deluxe version, but the original Famicom version, the Famicom more or less being the Japanese version of the NES, had faces on some of the clouds. It added on some bushes too. New textures were all over the place. That's about it. The All-Star version looks roughly the same as the version of Super Mario Bros. Still, this is the, Super Nintendo, so it looks way better than the original version. I'm somewhat nostalgic for the NES sprites, but outside of that, the SNES version just looks straight up better. Meanwhile, the gameplay honestly hasn't changed much. Mario still runs and jumps roughly the same. He has momentum to his movements like the first game. Luigi has much more momentum, however. Yeah, Luigi is playable again, but instead of being a two-player thing, Luigi actually plays differently than his brother this time around. Which is weird because now that means this game is single-player only, even though the first game was two-player. Anyway. First appearance of his trademark higher jump and slicker momentum, making trickier landings a lot more difficult. Naturally, most people claim Luigi is the hard mode of this game, but that higher jump, though, it is so useful. So naturally, I played the entire game as Luigi. Ha! It's just a shame, though, that some of the levels seem to cater to Mario a lot more. Don't get me wrong, some of them cater to Luigi as well. Look, the level design is easily the biggest draw here, and sadly, this is also the biggest issue of the game. The levels kind of suck on this game. They are full of beginner traps. It's horrid. First thing, hidden blocks. Anyone ever play Kaizo Mario? It's a fan ROM hack of Super Mario World. In English, a hacker edited Super Mario World to be absurdly hard. Well, there were a lot of invisible blocks in that hack. Basically, there were a lot of blocks that literally blocked progression, making things insanely difficult. It isn't as bad here, but it does happen. A few times you find an invisible block, that you need to move on, while other times you'll find an invisible block right above a hammer brother that makes it really easy to, unintentionally die because you had no idea that there was something blocking your way there. Other things include super aggressive enemies, blocks constantly in your way that you can see, and dumb gimmicks like wind physics and water that you just die in. There are also near impossible jumps that are hard with the physics with Mario and nearly impossible with Luigi. And what is up with no checkpoints? You die, your ass goes straight back to the start of the level. What's up with that? I mean, hard and longer levels you have to learn to do in one run. Good luck with that. Also, the RNG is horrid too. So many times I make a great run in a level only to die because of some random bullshit. I landed on a fireball. That fireball isn't there all the time. By the time I see it, I can't dodge it without dying. Sometimes it is up above, sometimes it's on the platform I need. No getting around it, you just die. Also, sometimes things don't actually spawn in like they should. This happens in the original and in the All-Stars remake. Why didn't they fix this? Is it the one thing that they brought over from the originals for, what, nostalgia? Who knows. Now for the good. There is none! Nah, I'm only joking. Look, most of the levels are actually really fun. They are challenging, and outside of one or two moments of horse shit, these levels are actually really well designed. That stops a little over halfway through where most of the levels are suddenly super annoying gimmicks, random crap flying around, and absurdly tight platforming that makes Mario sweat and Luigi dig a grave. Now, the good news is that if you enjoyed your time with all of these levels, they are actually secret levels for you to play. Yeah, shocking, right? In the original Mario Brothers, the only secret was basically a hard mode after you beat the game, and it returns here for sure. But there are also some secret levels. If you beat every level in the game without warping forward, you can unlock World 9. A strange world indeed, but short and fun enough. If you beat the original game 8 times in a row and do a cheat code, you can play Worlds A, B, C, and D as well. That would horribly suck, however, and I don't really have the time for that. Luckily, the All-Stars version has us covered. Beat World 9 in that version, and Worlds A through D are just unlocked too. Some of these worlds are somewhat harder versions of previous levels, which didn't need the difficulty boost at all. Hooray! So you're probably wondering why I haven't told you how to unlock these in the Super Mario Bros. Deluxe version. Well, I haven't played that version, but I have the answer. You can't. They aren't in that version of the game. Sorry. Anyway, while I don't like the level designs of some of these levels, this is still way better than just a hard mode. Not that a hard mode isn't included as well, by any means. So, the question is do I like lost levels? Part of me wants to say yes. Some of the levels are fun, playing as Luigi with different abilities than Mario is fun, and the slightly improved graphics and secrets are awesome. Well, slightly improved graphics in, the original version. The main issue I have is a lot of the levels are just terrible. Beginner traps, random things that make the tight platforming near impossible, if your luck isn't all that great, which mine never is, and overly aggressive gimmicks that make things way more challenging than they really need to be. What do you think, Mario?
It's me, Mario. Hello. I think Luigi should save the princess this time. Leave me out of this, huh?
Well, you heard it here. Even Mario doesn't want you playing as him in this game. That being said, the original Famicom and the All-Stars version are both free with an online subscription on the Switch. Look, I wouldn't recommend buying this as a standalone product, but in something like Super Mario Deluxe or even the All-Stars pack, it isn't terrible. Even if the Deluxe version is the worst one with screen crunch and no secret levels, if you have the Deluxe version, I'd say give it a shot. Try the All-Stars one if you can. But, like I said, I don't necessarily recommend rushing out and grabbing this either, so there you go. But that's all the time I have for today, guys. At the moment, anyway. Plenty of other Mario games to play. Plenty of more Mario love this month. Ha ha ha! Until next time, guys, like, subscribe, comment, all for helping me out and spreading the love of Mario, I guess. That sounds so bad. But I have more Mario content. I have more other game content as well. So subscribing and looking through my channel would probably help you if you wanted to see more reviews and more bad audio quality. So, yeah. But until next time, take care. Bye-bye.